Jake was a young man who had everything going for him. He had good friends, a loving family, a budding career with the promise of a prosperous future. However, lately he felt unsure of himself. He had been searching the web and watching YouTube, trying to find the truth of this world. He was encouraged by all the new discoveries in every aspect of life and the collective creative possibilities of people from all over the world connecting and sharing with each other. It disturbed him, though, to witness the polluting of the earth, the continuing loss of species, the ongoing wars, and the combined denial of the consuming culture around him. He felt powerless, distracted, and confused. One morning, he was in a hurry to get to the post office. He knew it was closing time soon, but he was not sure of the right time. He was in the habit of putting the clock forward 10 minutes to give him the illusion of more time, and sometimes not. However, he could not remember if it was the case this morning. In a fluster, he put on his coat and checked his pockets for his keys. He stopped in his tracks when he found a piece of folded paper. "What's this?" he thought. "I did not put this paper in my pocket." He unfolded it, but could not read the writing on it as he did not have his glasses on. Pressed for time, he put it back in his pocket thinking, "I will read this later," and set off to the post office before it shut. As he rushed along the road, his mind was troubled by contradicting thoughts of how the unknown note had appeared in his pocket. Then ahead of him, he saw an old man heading directly towards him. He was staring at Jake so intently that he felt self-conscious and nervous. He thought he recognized him, but he was not convinced. The old man stopped in front of him and demanded, "Who are you?" Jack was taken aback, dumbfounded. I don't know." "Let me help you," the old man replied. "I will tell you a story." Jack and Jill were a professional couple who lived in the city. They enjoyed their achievements and success, but grew exhausted by the rat race lifestyle and decided to buy a small farm in the country. They grew their own crops, kept bees, and for a few years enjoyed the benefits of an alternative lifestyle. Then the climate started to change. The land became parched, the crops failed, and bees just disappeared. Eventually they ran out of money and were at a loss as to what to do. "We've got to do something," Jill said Jack. "Well, we've done all the worrying, so let's do nothing," replied Jill. "Nothing? Nothing? We can't do nothing. We have to do something," exclaimed Jack. Jill was resolute. "We will do nothing until nothing turns into something. Don't argue with me, Jack. We're going to do nothing." Therefore, Jill in her nothing quietly tended the chores and tended the flowers in the garden, while Jack's nothing consisted of reading the paper, watching TV, and getting thoroughly bored. One day, Jill was in the garden when she felt a strange breeze and experienced a sudden moment of illumination. She rushed into the house in great excitement. "I've got it, Jack. I know what we must do. I'm going to capture magic moments in our old honey jars, and we're going to market to sell them." Jack could not believe his ears and scoffed. "Are you mad, woman? Capture magic moments? That's ridiculous." "Well, Jack," she replied, "you may not believe me, but that's what we're going to do." Therefore, Jill tended the garden, and every time she felt a breeze, she got a jar and trapped the magic under the lid. When she had enough jars, she said to Jack, "Come on, it is now time to go to market." Jack did not believe in magic and found it all very amusing as he helped her take the jars to market. They improvised a stall in the corner and waited for customers. Late in the afternoon, a wealthy man came into the market. He owned everything, yet had come on the chance to find something he did not own. As he came near the stall, he overheard Jill telling another woman that magic was in the jars. Intrigued, he stepped forward and asked how much a jar of magic was. $2,000, Jill replied. "How much?" queried the rich man. $20,000, Jill replied. "How much?" exclaimed the rich man. $200,000, replied Jill. The rich man thought, "This jar of magic must be very special and rare. It gets more expensive in every asking. "I'd better buy one and get a bargain before it goes up again." "I will buy a jar of magic," he said. "Let me have that one." He paid Jill the money and left the market feeling happy with himself. Jack was amazed. He could not believe Jill's actions. "You just sold that man an empty jar for $200,000. How do you do such a con, such treachery?" However, Jill just smiled. "You wait and see, Jack. You wait and see." They invested the money in the farm, changed its use, and employed a community of workers to help them live peacefully in their newfound prosperity. One evening, they were coming home from market when they saw a scruffy old man standing outside their front door. When they got closer, they could see that he was unkempt, with long hair and nails and sad eyes. Jill recognized him as the wealthy man who had bought the magic jar. They asked him in, and Jill whispered to Jack, "It's that rich man. I'll make some tea. You find out what he wants." Jack took him into the front room, sat him down, and asked him how he could help. The rich man spoke. "After I bought the jar of magic from you, I took it home and prepared a very special place, then opened the jar. I immediately experienced a magical feeling. It was beautiful, like nothing I had known before or since. I held for a moment, but then started to fade and was gone. I knew I had to seek the magic again. It is worth more than all my riches. I began giving my fortune away, travelling to the ends of the earth, trying to rediscover the experience. But now I'm at an end. I have come to your door. How can I find the magic?" Jack looked lovingly at him. Over the years, he too had learnt to trust the silent stillness inside and experienced the magic as his friend. He explained to the rich man, "I cannot show you the magic, but I can tell you a story that will allow you to find it. Give up your wanderings, relax, and listen to this story." Once a forgotten time, there lived a story woman. She was the guardian of all the wise stories in the world. The art of telling stories passed down from mother to daughter from time immemorial. The story woman spun her wisdom in between the words. Letters made from invisible thread made the words breathe. Her stories were guidance for humanity to enjoy a healthy and prosperous life in harmony with all the kingdoms of earth. This was who she was, a story woman. According to a story, she died the day that people no longer wished to hear her stories. Books and lifeless words replaced the stories of Mother Earth, and even the ocean did not know what to do with the lost words anymore. They drifted ashore, were washed away like sandcastles, and disappeared. On that day, the story woman chose to die. Together with her last breath, wisdom left the world. In the regions without boundaries and without time, the creator of life was waiting for her. He could not wait to hear her stories, and it soon became quieter and quieter in the heavens. All the ears of the universe joined in listening. When she had told her final story, the creator shook his head in surprise. Why has the earth forgotten these words? Don't they know that knowledge in words is only the shadow of wordless knowledge? They have forgotten about my love and the natural wonders of life. They have written a different story of worshipping a God in their own image. I am love unconditional, and shed universal tears seeing the hunger and oppression that results from man's myth-making. The Creator paused in deep thought, then replied to the story woman, Let's get to work. There's no time to be lost. I will dig you the deepest well in the universe and ask my angels to gather all the lost words and dreams of freedom destroyed in history. From this well of wisdom, you will weave your words into story blankets. Then, aided by the angels, you will shake out the divine words and let them rain on earth. The story woman writes the words for story blankets from the well of wisdom at night. Then in the morning, when they shake the blankets, she asks the wind to catch them and whisper them further, asks the sun to open people's hearts, and asks love to put desires into dreams. When the wisdom is received, people hear invisible words whispered in their ear that they cannot hear, only feel in their hearts. Secrets are revealed, doors are opened, and eternal hope is restored. Jack suddenly became aware of himself on the road, with the cars racing beside him. The old man, who was still in front of him, said, "Why don't you look at the note in your pocket?" Jack looked down and reached into his pocket. He pulled it out and saw his name on it. He realized the old man was his future self, but when he looked up, the old man was gone. This was all too much. Jack freaked out. The cars got faster. His mind went into meltdown. He was on the verge of screaming when he felt a breeze, and silent words awakened his heart. His ego let go. His mind was full of understanding, and a deep peace descended upon him. I cannot say what happened to Jack after this, because it's a different story. However, be assured that Jack is enjoying living his heartfelt dreams in the moment, connecting and sharing with others who are touched by the magic to live happily ever after.